9 follow-up starts out looking like the exact same movie. Reading. They must have passed a law that all movies need to place the Inception noise somewhere in order to get passed by the MPAA. That's racist. Unnecessary wagon wheel space station design. All of these candles are an orgy of evidence that this was a terribly unsafe orphanage. Exposition delivered by a children's book. This movie is like Gattaca, with more robots. Main character introductory shaving scene cliché. 2154 Los Angeles isn't Arizona Bay yet. Look, I understand production budgets can be limiting, and bleak and destitute future is a good way to go to avoid having to create too much in the way of futuristic props, but this is 2154, so this truck is roughly 150 years old. I'm not sure all the routine maintenance in the world would make this possible. 22nd century Americans have allowed the word Q into their vocabulary.
What's in the bag? Hair products, mostly.
Max, who has dealt with authority figures all his life, tries to joke with two serious robot cops and expects it to go well. DMV parole office.
Elevation and heart rate detected.
This robot can detect heart rate elevations, but not graffiti artists writing on his face.
No, I am okay. Thank you.
Are you being sarcastic or abusive?
Unthinking, frustrating, by-the-book, everything-is-black-and-white robot parole officers can detect sarcasm. Set decorator had an obvious conflict with the director regarding the definition of enough graffiti. The robotics company in the year 2154 uses humans to build its robots? Don't car factories in the year 2014 already use robots to build cars? Also, what is this job? You construct robot suits and then stick them in some sort of radioactive chamber? For what? The plot later? How do you coordinate an operation like this, with thousands of people knowing about it and not get caught? Also, since we find out these ships basically get shot down and the survivors are just deported, why would anyone try going on this trip? I know you're desperate, but seems like the odds of surviving this bullshit are non-existent. These ships are approaching Elysium pretty quickly, but...
Activate Kruger.
Thankfully, Agent Kruger is never more than a few seconds away from a rocket launcher. Wait, Elysium has all this technology and they don't have anything to defend themselves? They rely on people on Earth to shoot missiles through the atmosphere and hope that works? Also, even if that was the best defense system you have, you're basically gonna have missiles coming straight at you. If they miss, they could hit the damn Elysium. Okay, so the third missile misses. Where's the fourth missile that Kruger shot? Haha, modern societal commentary painted on a prop.
Send them to deportation. Get them off this habitat.
Oh, Elysium is America. I get it. Also, how does deportation on Elysium have such an overcrowded prison system? You put lots of people on a ship and you send them back where they came from. Or are illegal successful trips to Elysium so commonplace that they constantly have hundreds of people coming in by the hour?
Look, either you're going there right now, or I'll find someone who will.
This movie is like Upton Sinclair's The Jungle, with more robots. Also, this is game theory with yourself, right? I mean, you know if you go in there and move the pallet, then the door's gonna close and you'll be trapped. But if you refuse, you'll be fired, and you might have to steal cars again, and maybe go back to jail if you're caught. I don't know, it seems like a simple choice to me. Also, what did the foreman think was gonna happen if he went in there and moved the pallet? Is there any other conceivable possible outcome other than this that would make this foreman anything short of the devil himself by forcing Max in there? This is basically murder, right? Movie rips off the main character gets trapped inside a radiation chamber thing from both Star Trek 2s. Do these death machines not have an off button? This robot is a dick to Max. Hey, we're only 23 minutes into this thing. Better show the audience that opening flashback again in case they forgot it. This movie is like Silkwood, with more robots.
At 1500 hours yesterday, you shot down 2 shuttles.
Dude, you called her into your office immediately after that happened, but decided to wait a full day to yell at her for it?
Your mandate is to deal with illegals quietly.
Honestly, you should have no conflict here. There's so much money on Elysium, simple defense systems shouldn't be that difficult to create, even non-violent ones.
Tell me something, President Patel. Do you have children?
Oh, come on, you know the answer to that. Just get to your condescending point already.
I understand that it is not the fashion to think and to act as I do.
Hopefully other actors will not think it is the fashion to act as Jodie Foster does in this movie. Damn, you guys give J.J. Abrams a hard time for his lens flares, but I nominate a new target. Neil Blomkamp's graffiti.
This isn't Elysium. We can't just heal her.
It's amazing that hospitals down on Earth haven't figured out Elysium's magic healing machine and charge whatever the market will bear for it. Max goes to see some dude named Spider, but unfortunately has to travel through the motocross scene from Batman and Robin to get there.
I need to ask you a favor.
What? I can hear you. What?
This guy turned to page 45 of bad guy cliche dialogue. The "sorry I can't hear you, please repeat your groveling because it gets me off" page. Underground criminal area has flashing fluorescence cliche.
This can be your ticket up there. One last job for me, you earn your way up.
Spider plays the pronoun game with a dash of unnecessary vagary so that Max has to ask what the hell he's talking about.
You are here to persuade me to renew our Armadine contract.
Actually, I think he's hoping to persuade you to stop doing that thing with your head and your voice every time you talk. So, great band name. Fuchsia, Foster, and Fichtner. You're welcome. Carlisle inexplicably has one of these arrow pointing the way to my dick tattoos on his forehead in flesh color.
Merge it with the DNA. Now you fit in.
Like you were born there.
Right up until they shoot you down in your shuttle with missiles. Now, there is more graffiti in this future than would be possible if literally all human life on Earth had taken up graffiti as a hobby. Is this the only way to upload and download data in the future? To and from your head? Because it seems like in this day and age, the criminals expect the data to be in your head, so why not throw them off by putting your important data on a protected flash drive or encrypted cloud of some sort? Also, Carlisle conveniently uploads crucial information to his brain just hours before Max plans to hijack the contents of his brain. Futuristic text-capable watches use dot matrix graphics. Discount Cylons. All of this future technology tells you everything, except when something likely dangerous is shot and lodges into your ship. Vicus isn't growing a prawn arm in this scene.
I've recommissioned 2 of your preferred agents completely confidentially, of course.
How did she do that so fast? As soon as she heard about Carlisle, she immediately got on the phone with Kruger. Even at the mere press of a button, these guys would have had to drop what they're doing, get on a ship, and fly right over to Kruger in just a few seconds. Why did he shoot regular bullets at the second robot instead of shooting that staggered explosion grenade thing he used on the first robot? It was really effective. It's amazing to me that a very important person's personal spaceship crashed, and now we've got criminals and illegal mercenaries all firing bullets and bombs, and not even a couple of robot cops have shown up yet. Amazing exploding discs have a substantial enough delay on them so that people can still shoot at you before they explode. Also, these human-seeking death discs are a fantastically effective weapon, but Kruger doesn't use them anymore after this. And this is the moment when you realize the director has more cool futuristic weapon ideas than the story can actually sustain. I mean, there should be no fugitives, no crime, no anything in this future if the authorities have access to an arsenal of gizmos that would make Batman jealous. The one guy who never messes around when killing people decides to do so when it comes to killing Max. Fucking seriously? He's got a force field shield? Max ends up shooting this guy anyway, but how many problems could the Elysians solve on their end by having a defense mechanism like this?
Citizen has suffered catastrophic blood loss leading to cardiac arrest. Time of death, 1745.
Later, we find out Elysium has some sort of failsafe in place for citizens on the ground who need medical care, but they never once jettison a healing bed straight to Carlisle when he gets shot. Why did the Elysium satellite stay on dead Carlisle instead of following the running away Max? Wouldn't they be able to help Kruger find him? Ancilla ex machina. How did they lose him? Because Delacourt is an idiot who can't properly task her all-seeing satellites. That's why.
Hey, boss. I think you better come look at this.
I think you better come look at this cliche.
This is a record of what we picked up being transferred between Carlisle and the criminal cell.
What? If that organic brain data can be intercepted wirelessly, then why did they have to jack into Carlisle's brain in the first place? Why is Delacourt concerned about Kruger leaving Max's brain intact if she can just fish that shit out over interstellar Wi-Fi? Also, why didn't, everyone on Elysium see this data getting transferred, especially since their entire focus is on citizen in danger Carlisle? Wouldn't a transmission of this sort be picked up by their satellites?
Now we just need to find him. Gonna let the girls out.
Kruger waits a long-ass time in the hunt for Max before releasing badass drones that would have been really helpful earlier. Max stumbles to the hospital just in time to see Frey pass by the window. The nurse's sick child from earlier comes in really handy when she needs a bunch of medical equipment in her home to secretly treat Max. Most convenient sick child ever.
So I made friends with a hippopotamus.
Okay, stop.
Matt Damon interrupts a little girl during her spoken word adaptation of We Bought a Zoo. Max bitches out and doesn't take the sick kid with him, but fortunately Kruger comes behind him and takes the kid and the woman with him so that Max will have a second chance to help save them. Scouting ship just happens to be flying down the very street Max is on just after he leaves Frey's house.
The flight system is jammed!
This flight jamming seems like it might come in handy during unauthorized flights to Elysium. Oh well. How come plugging into Max's head only shows the stolen encrypted data, and not his orphanage memories or masturbation fantasies?
I don't even know why you try sending people up there, man. They just get fucking shot down.
Character points out minor plot hole as an attempt by the film to gain forgiveness for it.
Holy shit, sir. You better come take a look at this.
Hey, you already used that cliche.
CinemaSins.
So they'd only traveled one block since kidnapping Frey and Matilda? That whole thing with Max getting plugged in and arguing with Spider and the walk he made to and from that location and all Kruger and company managed to get away was one block? Everyone we're rooting for survives this deadly spacecraft crash. And the bad guys do too.
I'm sure you have a fundraiser to attend.
Jodie Foster is equal parts 1990s George Clooney and kick-ass Nicolas Cage in this movie. It is the weirdest performance by a legendary actress I have ever seen, using your leukemic child to break and enter. This is the second break-in we've seen so far in these ultra-futuristic Elysium homes, but not once has the house set off alarms or shut down or have robot servants try and stop intruders, which is apparently what so many Elysians fear every day. Wow, the bad guys had electric stun guns this whole time too? I guess they would have used them before if they hadn't also had all those other ridiculous futuristic weapons to go through first. But this could have been effective during that whole fistfight a few moments ago that caused the crash in the first place, right?
How long before you can download and turn the system online?
Not long, ma'am.
In fact, this should take roughly the amount of time it took to get into him, but I'm sure it will take longer so that Max can escape. No one who is literally paid to watch the Elysium sky for a living notices this unauthorized ship coming into its airspace, even after the f***ing computer acknowledges an unlicensed craft approaching. Also, the ship comes in like it expected to land with no problem. We don't see anyone inside the ship saying, "Wow, this is so amazing that we got through no problem," when nearly every other ship we've sent up here gets shot down. There's no explanation for this smoke break Elysium has taken to allow this kind of breach.
Brady's fun.
The grenade melted his entire f***ing head. This is such a ridiculously magic machine that it's amazing not one of these Elysium people have tried to make a profit with them down on Earth. Vicus isn't turning into a prawn in this scene. Yeah, let's leave the super important fugitive in a super strong mech suit, completely unguarded and alone in a room with 2 nurses. Cracked mirror reflection is a reflection of Psycho's mind cliche. Apparently you can just lock an Elysian citizen into a small room and the computerized keep Elysian safe at all cost system won't allow you to unlock the door. Looks like everyone here is doing a bang-up job of preventing ships from entering the airspace. Oh, wait.
Right. Get rid of those 2.
There was nothing stopping me from killing them before, but yeah. Now kill them. We now bring you the bad guy delays the killing process so that the nice people can be saved portion of this movie. Sudden mysterious migraine gives Kruger a chance to catch up. So now that's possible in this movie. But we never see it again, so who cares? Yeah, rather than just slicing your neck real quick and getting you out of the way, I'd rather simply pin you on the floor temporarily.
You almost had me.
Grenade has ridiculous explosion delay while Max figures out how to get out of this. Another break-in, and is anyone ever at home when this shit goes down? Let's form a society where none of the plebes can get in. Now write a single line of code that gives someone the option to change that.
Max, it's okay, I know.
Science fiction hero has to sacrifice himself to save the world cliche.
Tell Matilda I really liked her story.
I'd tell the whole story back to you again, but I only have like 5 more hours before the president and his men finally break down this door. Somehow all the sick Earthlings heard about the rebooting of Elysium and the dispatched medical crafts and come running together at the same time.
Does his skin fall off or something?
Okay, listen, I went to UMass. I wasn't insulting you.
Well, I thought you were, so now you gotta buy me dinner.
Well, maybe you can shoot someone and then you'd have to see me professionally.
I'll stab someone in the heart with a f***ing ice pick if it gets me dinner with you.
I understand that it is not the fashion to think and to act as I do. I understand that perfectly.
Because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
If we listen, we can hear God's plan.
God's plan. All right, let me tell you about your God's plan. There is no God. There is no God.
Hey, bring down the bone saw!
Bone saw is ready!
Don't you f***ing look at me. Drop your f***ing knife. Drop your f***ing knife! Don't f***ing look at me!
Your aura is purple!
I love you.
What?
Purple! It's purple!
What?
Your aura is purple!
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man.
Stop right there!
Do you know how easy this is for me? Do you have any f***ing idea how easy this is? This is a f***ing joke.
Yeah!
And I'm sorry you can't do this. I really am, because I wouldn't have to f***ing sit here and watch you fumble around and f*** it up.
You see, Confederated Products is a multi-level direct wholesaling company, which means we don't just sell the products ourselves. No, sir, Bob. We recruit and manage teams that work under us. Now, Irene and I started 8 months ago, and already we're pulling in $50,000 a year in revenues.
Yes. Is it working?
Yeah, we're sinking.
You have any idea who you're stealing from? You and your friends are dead! What the hell are you doing to me? No, salva de la vida. No va a llover. What are you doing?